Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. What we have here is a 2002 King Quad 300 4x4, and unfortunately I think the machine is cursed. First of all, its owner passed on, though the machine was not responsible for that. Other than that, it tried to leap out of my truck and it messed up the tailgate so that it doesn't unlock, and it caught fire. The rope broke and it came flying out of the truck. I managed to get it that far back in by playing Incredible Hulk and lifting up the back myself and putting it in. Looks like my tailgate suffered. Luckily, I got a buddy here now and he can help me get it the rest of the way out. Well, that's not helpful. So, let's talk about the background on his machine. If I buy it, this is one of those pay $400 and keep it, or fix and returns. You know, make videos, fix and returns. It belongs to a buddy of mine, Phil, who happens to be famous. He was on the cast of Orange County Choppers. Anyway, the first owner passed on. The first owner was a smoker, and unfortunately he got cancer, and he's no longer with us. So Phil got it from him, including the registration, which is a good thing, a signed registration. All pluses, right? Because now I could put it on the road should I keep it. And $400 is not crazy money. You guys could see the tires are in really decent shape, the seats in really decent shape. The plastic, other than missing a little bit of this front piece right here, is all intact. And it's also missing, and this is all bolted down, but it's missing the headlight cover, the front piece of plastic. Now, I have more than one of these floating around. I have two that are in really nice condition. Well, one in really nice condition, one in good condition, and kind of a parts machine that has like 16,000 miles on the odometer. And it appears that it jumped time. This one has 3,800 miles on the odometer. So it's I would call it a midlife all-terrain vehicle. It does have a plow mount underneath it, so hopefully it didn't do too much of that. And a lot of times when they have plow mounts, you could see the rust that it kind of has. If I had to guess, somebody went to lift it with an excavator, which broke this, and by lifting it, right, the center came up and it pushed the two sides down, right? You could see it has kind of a sad smile on the back. I'm covering up the plate just, I don't know, to give the first owner who passed on some privacy, right? Nobody wants their identity took. So now, what's the story on it? Now that you know the background, you could see, unless the carburetors are green plastic covers, it doesn't have one. And I really hope nothing climbed in there and dumped in the motor. You can see what are those dirt gobbers or whatever have been here. So we have that. So that's one of the first things it's going to need. Let's see if it's got it does seem to have compression. It's doing the huffy puffy thing. So normally, you know, OCD, we got the compression part. The oil on these, I think one has a site class I have to look at. We'll look at that when we get to the driveway. I do have a key in it. As expected, the battery is stone cold dead. I don't know if you guys are at all familiar with these. They got two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive low. That's the reverse lever. Differential lock, actually. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, differential lock. And then it's got, what is that? High, low, super low. So it's got all kinds of levers to play with there on the transmission. Hopefully all those cables aren't seized up. That's kind of the trouble you get into when these machines sit. There's going to probably be a few videos on this. Video number 1, I'm going to put a battery on it and try to turn it around and maybe try to get it to cough and sputter, maybe even start up. And then we'll move toward doing the repairs to it, actually straightening it up, see if I can't borrow a rack from somewhere else and a front cover from somewhere else and actually clean it up. So yeah, there'll be 2 or 3 videos. So it did come with some parts. This looks like the actual air filter that belongs on it, though it's missing the top cover. I can always fake that. That goes to something else, a Polaris that is out back. I do not have this. That's not here. And it came with a carburetor kit. By kit, I mean build your own carburetor. Right here, it's been all cleaned, chemically cleaned. So I can either put that back together or do a hack on it. Put a PZ30 and see if that'll get it to run. So as I'm going through this, if you guys could let me know, do you think it's worth $400 at this point? By the way, I've also noticed some wires disconnected. I noticed that. I noticed this. And now that one's connected. I noticed this. So I don't know. Extra wires? I mean, does Suzuki do that? I'm a Honda guy and they don't do extra wires. Does Suzuki do extra wires? Anyway, let's see if we can't get this thing to huff and puff. So if we're going to start this thing, the first thing we need to do is check the oil. And I think, hang on a second. Yeah, I think you guys could kind of see it there. So it's full. OC, C is compression, and as you can see, it seems to have compression. I turned it over a few times with no clangety bang. And do I have a neutral light? Oh, I got a neutral light. Round and round it goes. So let's see if we can't get some detonation out of this. Don't try this at home. I'm going to try to flash it over with some starting fluid. Okay, here's some 40 to 1. We'll just put a little squirt of that in there. A little taste starting fluid. Then I'm going to back up a little bit and let's see if we have any detonation. Smoking back out, that's not good. Let me choke it a second. Okay, we're on the run. Let's hope for the best. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, one last try. Who says Harvey gives up? We have fire. Is that like detonation? So my experience of puffing out the intake a little bit, puffing that steam out or mist out, vapor out, that's normally indicative of the intake valve is hanging up a little bit. So I gotta check the valve lash, and I really should put a carburetor on it before I set this thing ablaze, which is of no good to anybody. So do we have detonation? I don't know. We have fire. That's kind of like detonation, except without all the boom. So, oh, we got a trunk with a bag in it. So, the bags is from Mahoney's. It's got, you know, one of those, I call them tire snakes. One of those worms for fixing tire flats. And it also came with those. And the Champion version of vice grip is from Taiwan. So that was in the trunk. We seem to have tail lights. Unfortunately, no headlights. We have a neutral light. And lastly, this lever, if you push it down, you can move it. This guy, the four-wheel drive and differential lever, doesn't seem to want to go. And the reverse doesn't seem to want to go either. I don't know if you have to kind of go through a sequence of locking and unlocking things to get it to go into reverse. Perhaps the brake needs to be on or something. Anyway, what do you guys think? I do want to get it running one way or the other, but from what you know so far, I already know what Steve says. Get rid of it, give it back. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth putting some time and effort into to turn into a real machine? Or do you think I just get it fired up and give it right on back? I guess it'll depend somewhat how all the other features work. We know we have brake lights, and we know we have the high-low ranges. We don't know about the four-wheel drive, the diffie lock, and all that other junk. So, give me your thoughts. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the haunted King Quad.